The church has always been one of the main pillars in the black community, but have you ever wondered why we do some of the things that we do there? Today I'm about to tell you. I can't teach you anything. I'm just here to make you think. All right, so during slavery, when entering the church, a slave was required to put on a pair of white gloves. Back then, whites believed that it was a sin for black folk to touch something that wasn't theirs. Blacks would also work in the church as ushers, so on top of whites believing it was a sin for black folk to touch anything in the church, they also did not trust them with the collection plate, therefore requiring them to hold one hand behind their back. Now, during this time, enslaved persons sometimes sat in the balcony. But in addition to get their master's attention, what they'd do, they'd raise their hand after being acknowledged and given the permission to remove themselves. They'd hold up that index finger to let others know it wasn't an escape. And so that's where that come from. Then on top of that, you got the origins of hooting and hollering. And so it was in the 40s and 60s when a lot of people who didn't go to school became pastors because they couldn't read. They'd have somebody from the congregation read a text. And after that, they would use filler information and emotional surgeons to sway the crowd, nevertheless. But they also got that same way of preaching from a guy named George Whitefield, and he was a former actor, but he preached to crowds as big as about 20,000, and so he was very animated, white guy during the Great Awakening, and he visited America a few times. Once he visited America, that preaching style just stuck. Now, during the week, enslaved persons, they were being used as another person's benefit. On Sunday, that was a time for self-expression, for their leisure, and of course to worship. And so they said, well, we're going to go all out on Sunday. Now, the origins of big hats in the church is biblical, Corinthians 11 and 15. It started off just as white nets covering the head in the early 1900s, but eventually it evolved to what you see today. Now, y'all know I could not and would not end this part one video without talking about Blue Vein Societies. So Blue Vein Societies were just social clubs formed by light-skinned freedmen, what they called blue bloods, and this was after slavery. So specifically a Blue Vein circle, a prayer circle, was another name for a light-skinned church. So deacons, they'd be the gatekeepers. They'd be standing at the door, waiting to look at your veins, and that would literally determine your status. Silk stockings and gloves. This was all a part of this black elitist appearance that was traditionally wore to church to stand out. Now, as I end part one of this topic on church and the black community, like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your mama, your auntie, your brother, your baby mama, your Grammy. You feel me? I'm about to give you this real. I'm about to come out the woodworks. You feel me? Also, remember, every man got two educations. That which is given to him, the other which he gives himself. I'll holler at y'all later.